Extraterrestrials and Nukes. Extraterrestrials vs Armamentos Nuclears. The reason why UFOs and UFPS are seen in our skies has long been up for debate. Many of the UFO believers feel sure that these alien craft are actually here to protect us, maybe by stopping a nuclear war, even shooting the missiles down and vaporizing the threat. So could this be reason for the extraterrestrial presence? What evidence is there to support this idea? One of the first reports we're going to look at comes from Edgar Mitchell, the sixth man to walk on the moon. He makes the claim that high-ranking military officials secretly receive privileged information on the existence of alien ships spotted during the ongoing weapons tests of the 1940s. This military man claimed that the extraterrestrials are here because they want to learn about our military capabilities. Giving his perspective on what is happening, the man said the following: "My own experience talking to people has made it clear the ETs had been attempting to keep us from going to war and help create peace on Earth. Other officers from bases on the Pacific coast told me their test missiles were frequently shot down by alien spacecraft." The witness also tells of how these beings conform to the stereotypical alien with a small frame, large eyes and a big bulbous head. The military mystery man goes on to tell that our technology is not nearly as sophisticated as theirs, and had they been hostile, would be been gone by now. This idea of benevolent aliens is something that many have supported, and it would seem to be true. British ufology expert Nick spoke to reporters telling them that even where Mitchell's sources are genuine, how do we know they have access to classified information about UFOs? It is thought that the alien activity on this planet ramped up after the first nuclear bombs were detonated, the bomb acting like a cosmic alarm bell signaling other advanced intelligences that humanity had just made the leap into the nuclear, a dangerous time for any society. This is when we see some division in those that believe in aliens, some saying, like I just mentioned, that ET was attracted by our use of nukes, others saying that this is wrong and that they have always been here living alongside humanity and even having a hand in our evolution. The very popular ancient alien theory. More believers adhere to a mixed concepts, and even the idea that it is possible that multiple species have been to this planet at different times. A variety of differing craft being seen in our sky. Ironically, governments have sometimes secretly promoted belief in UFOs, because if someone sees a secret prototype aircraft or drone, it's much better to have it reported as a flying saucer than recognized for what it is, said Pope. Unexplained UFO sightings continue today, and these mystery vehicles are often spotted around nuclear facilities and military bases. I must add the caveat that not all UFO sightings have to be extraterrestrial in origin. The location and the security that is in place at these facilities would make them a perfect location to test prototype craft designed and built by us. Dr. Mitchell said that he thought that we headed for real disclosure, and some serious organizations are moving in that direction. Did he mean NASA? Officials from NASA were quick to play his comments down. In a statement at the time, a spokesman said, "NASA does not track UFOs. NASA is not involved in any sort of cover-up about alien life on this planet or anywhere in the universe." Dr. Mitchell is a great American, but we do not share his opinions on this issue. Dr. Mitchell says that NASA is covering up the truth and that he has a collection of stories from people who worked at missile bases which back up his claims. These incidents have been witnessed since the first tests of nuclear weapons back in 1945. They continued until today. Many military personnel who have worked at testing facilities and or with nuclear weapons have reported UFOs. They do not always jump to the conclusion that it is alien craft observing them. Some witnesses put forward the idea that these could be secret from competing nations watching and recording the development of U.S. military capabilities. I would prefer the alien angle, but spying is a good possible explanation. This activity was not restricted to the U.S. It was also experienced by individuals at Soviet military test zones, research centers and rocket storehouses. Who or what is piloting these UFPs and for what reason? Most would say that they were strongly centered on observing developing atomic advancements of the two nations. Reports tell us that these sightings began directly after the main nuclear bomb tests were carried out before the detonation of the atomic bombs over Japan by the US at the close of WW2. Some 150 observer accounts have been gathered, and these show that these craft had an interest in the current war weaponry and continue to watch what is being produced by the militaries of the world. The CIA took these reports seriously and opened an investigation into these sightings. They found no answer for the puzzling lights in the sky, and they were concerned by the enthusiasm shown for our nukes. This concern may have been warranted as soon after came reports of these UFOs displaying a capacity to deactivate both American and Russian atomic rockets. Ufologist Robert Hastings spoke to the National Press Club and said that there has been an excess of 120 official documented reports of unidentified flying objects dangerously close to atomic weapon stockpiles. Air Force Capt. Robert Salas, who was stationed at Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana during 1967, told of an incident when 10 ICMs he was guarding all of a sudden went offline. This is a shining red orb was spotted hovering over the weapons base. So as these reports have shown and continue to show, the UFO presence can control our weaponry, we must ask ourselves if this is a good thing. As I said at the start, most consider the aliens, if that is what they are, as benevolent, and that they are keeping an eye on humanity so that we do not destroy ourselves. There are however a few problems with this idea, the first being why, if their actions are coming from a place of concern for our species, do they let conventional wars rage? If human life is so valuable to them, why do they not deactivate other types of weapon platform which are currently in use? Some may say that this is down to a policy of non-interference, but that isn't true, because they have inferred by deactivating missiles and just by appearing in secured airspace, both actions which could be considered aggressive. This brings me to my closing thought. These extraterrestrials may seem peaceful now, and we see their curiosity as something of a human trait, a similarity that we may share with a species from the stars. But what happens if or when benevolence turns to malevolence? They have been scanning these weapons, gathering data. Could this be because these are the only things that we have as a species which could be used against them?